We're here with Paolo Aquilini, and we're here talking about the Canucks Autism Network. Why did it start, and what is it all about?
Well, first of all, thank you for coming, Mark. Really appreciate you being here and being interested in this subject. Canucks Autism Network is an organization that has been developed to help families living with autism in British Columbia. And that's a pretty wide mission statement, but it entails a lot of things. The thing that really, that I think there's a statistic that really says a lot. There's 80 children being diagnosed with autism in British Columbia every month. That's almost 3 children every day that are diagnosed with autism. I mean, this is a very, it is a problem, an issue that we all have to get our shoulders behind and help. And so that's what Canucks Autism Network wants to do. It wants to help those families that are being diagnosed, and the sort of the hardships of going through that process, the hardships of raising a child, and then bringing that child to adulthood into a vocational area where they can thrive in.
Can you just real quickly, what are some of the hardships that families must face? Because I know a lot of people out there really don't understand autism and what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, the obvious one is the emotional distress that one goes through when they have a child diagnosed with autism, and how it affects the family and the parents. So that's a heavy weight to carry. But then on top of that, you're coupled with the factor that there's a financial burden. Once you come to grips with the emotional side, all of a sudden you've got to raise this child. How are you going to look after this child? And then there's the whole social aspect. These children. I mean, in its essence, autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder that affects relationships between the child and other people, and so there's that whole element that we're here to help with. That's what Canucks Autism Network wants to do. It wants to bridge those financial gaps, those emotional gaps, those social gaps.
Now you have a personal tie also to this project.
Yeah, my wife and I, Clara, we have 4 children, and one of our children was diagnosed with autism 11 years ago, and he was 2 years of age at the time. So, we've been through all these things that we're talking about, and, we want to help families and living with this. And so, it was not an easy road, but, we, along with many families in British Columbia, have gone through the trials and tribulations of raising a child with autism. And we feel we understand some of those needs, and along with professional people that know how to meet those needs, we're working together, and we began this organization.
The trials and tribulations, what has sustained you? What has carried you through those trials and tribulations?
Yeah, that's a very good question. For me, and I speak for myself personally, and I know my wife, I think the Apostle Paul said it best. He said, "For me to live is Christ." And that's my life. Christ is my life. Jesus is my life. And he has sustained me through this, and my wife and our family, and he motivates us to carry on. So, our personal road has been that. And through that, that love of Christ, we want to shed abroad that love to other people by doing things like this. Whether it's Canucks Autism Network or other things, we want to help people. And when you think of the people that are most disadvantaged in our world, our children, and we need to be there to help them.